NBC2 News at 5.
Police arrested a Charlotte County Sheriff's deputy for stalking, threatening his victim with a taser in his car. I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Peter Bush.
This wasn't just a one-time incident, and it was certainly enough for our officers to believe that the victim's life was in jeopardy.
A former girlfriend says Deputy David Motz stalked her for a year. She thought Motz might kill her.
NBC2's Samantha Serban is live at the Northport Police Department for us tonight. And Samantha, walk us through what this deputy is accused of.
Peter, Kelly, he's accused of stalking her on a daily basis. They're alleging he even pointed his agency-issued taser at her and threatening if she were to report him to police, she would end up like Denise Amber Lee. The victim took that to mean kidnapped, raped, and murdered. He is responsible for upholding the law. Now Charlotte County Deputy David Motz is the one behind bars.
He's being charged with aggravated stalking stemming from a complaint from a young lady with whom Deputy Motz had a previous relationship.
The woman's name is not being released, but just 3 days ago, she took her complaint to Northport Police, saying she fears for her life and her child's.
This wasn't just a one-time incident, and it was certainly enough for our officers to believe that the victim's life was in jeopardy.
Court records detail the harassment over the course of more than a year. Motz allegedly showing up to the victim's work, following her, dropping off money and gifts, which the victim returned, and consistently emailing her even after she asked him to stop.
He was obviously doing some things to this victim that we found to be inappropriate in crossing the line.
The threats go on. The victim saying Motz pointed his agency-issued taser at her, even threatening if he were to lose his job because she reported him, she would, quote, end up like Denise Amber Lee.
She was kidnapped, raped, and murdered here in Northport.
Motz is being held without bond, facing a felony. Sheriff Bill Permel says Motz is on administrative leave without pay.
It is a sad day as another law enforcement officer has tarnished our badge and has broken that sacred trust we work so hard to build.
Florida statutes exempt law enforcement mug shots from public record. Motz will face a judge in the morning. Live in Northport, Samantha Serban, NBC2.
Again, the stalking victim said the deputy told her she would end up like Denise Amber Lee, a kidnapping and murder case that terrorized the community. Back in 2008, a man abducted the young mother from her home in Northport, leaving her 2 children behind. A kidnapper drove her around in his car before raping and eventually killing her. At one point, Lee managed to dial 911, but dispatchers did not have the technology to pinpoint her location. Her killer, Michael King, is now awaiting execution on death row. And what's even more chilling, Denise's father was a detective with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, the same agency as Deputy Motz.